Last week, President Moon Jae-in laid out his government's policy blueprint for the next 5 years. The goals and visions were crafted to reflect the public's voices and concerns as citizens submitted them to the so-called People's Transition Committee that was established shortly after President Moon took office. Over the course of this week, we are going to take a closer look at the 5 main policy objectives contained within the blueprint. And today, we start with the empowerment of the people, which calls for a government where the people are in charge. Kim Min-ji with the report.
Soon after taking the reins, President Moon Jae-in vowed to build a nation that's truly a nation by seeking the changes demanded by the Korean people. And one of the core pillars of his policy goals is to return the government to the people and empower them, where Koreans are not the subject of rule, but the owners of the government.
새 정부는 촛불혁명의 정신을 이을 것입니다. 국민이 주인으로 대접받는 국민의 나라, 모든 특권과 반칙, 불공정을 일소하고 차별과 격차를 해소하는 정의로운 대한민국을 만들겠습니다.
The government plans to achieve this through 15 initiatives under 4 key themes. For starters, they plan to root out deeply embedded societal ills. The administration plans to create a task force within each ministry that will keep a close eye on possible signs of corruption and boost preventive measures such as stepping up penalties for offenders. This is seen as crucial as more citizens have become aware of the need for anti-corruption campaigns in the wake of the power abuse scandal that led to the impeachment of the former president. Another focal part is to make the president more accessible. This calls for the relocation of the presidential office to near Seoul Central Gwanghwamun Square, which was a key campaign pledge of President Moon as part of efforts to enhance communication with the people as well as government officials. The government also plans to make public daily schedules of the president and senior officials on a government website. And to encourage the participation of citizens on how the country is run and have a say, the government is seeking to lower the voting age as well as ease requirements for regular folk to join political parties.
We plan to uphold the spirit of the Constitution as the base for running state affairs for the citizens' sovereignty.
Another long-pending agenda has been reforming the so-called power organs, namely the prosecution and police. The prosecution has long been criticized for abusing its power by having both investigative and indictment rights. The government is seeking to reorganize the investigative rights between the prosecution and police, something that the new Justice Minister has also vowed to pursue.
We plan to gather opinions on reforming the prosecution from various circles and plan to speedily enact related laws accordingly.
And to ensure a transparent and competent government, officials will get citizens directly involved in policy formulation and implementation process. The government will also increase access to public services through state-of-the-art technologies like big data and artificial intelligence, and strengthen vetting standards for government jobs. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.